later this afternoon. I got to them. Oh boy, and I can't say who they are, and I can't really say.
That's fine.
And I can't really say what they told me, but it's ironclad. It's 1,000% true. Okay, I know exactly what happened to the kids. The kids are alive.
Melissa Scott's trail cameras might contain clues about the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. RCMP asked her for days of footage as the investigation into the missing children approaches the
7 minutes ago, according to sources, the RCMP quietly approved a warrant connected to the ongoing investigation into the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. It's described as a procedural move with potentially major consequences. While the children remain missing, this new action centers on one individual, Darren Gettys. Multiple sources indicate that investigators now suspect Gettys may have misled the public and interfered with the investigation. This shift came after a single anonymous email, sent just 5 days ago, caught the attention of cybercrime units. The message included files, images, GPS pings, audio recordings, and screenshots. All of it, sources say, suggested an effort to control the narrative and misdirect the public. Among the files were unedited clips of Gettys speaking before posting his public videos. In one, he was heard rehearsing a story, trying different phrases and tones. One line reportedly stood out: "If people believe I saw them that night, they'll stop looking elsewhere." Investigators say that sentence alone triggered an internal escalation. RCMP officers from multiple jurisdictions reportedly formed an urgent task force to verify where Gettys was on the night of June 3rd, the night Lily and Jack disappeared. Publicly, Gettys said he was out of province. But cell tower data allegedly placed him within 20 minutes of the last known sighting of the children. He reportedly stayed in the area for over 45 minutes, with no calls, no messages, no movement. Travel records show no flights, no hotels, and no witnesses confirming he ever left town. In addition, sources report that Gettys made a call at 2:11 a.m. to a private number belonging to a former technical consultant who had worked with law enforcement on encryption. The call lasted 7 minutes and 18 seconds. Later, partial logs were shown to Gettys, and he denied knowing the person. Full logs, however, reportedly showed repeated calls, including one from a burner phone. Investigators say this may indicate assistance in avoiding surveillance. The RCMP also reportedly accessed Gettys' cloud backups. They allegedly found deleted files, chat archives, and GPS logs placing him closer to the children's last known locations than he publicly admitted. One location at 12:47 a.m. on June 4th reportedly shows Gettys parked near a back road less than 4 kilometers from the family cottage, on private land. A neighbor living nearby also came forward, reporting that she frequently saw Gettys leaving late at night, sometimes with duffel bags and muddy boots. After seeing one of his live videos, she recognized the shirt he wore the night the children were last seen and reported it to police. Her statement, sources say, became part of an emergency file. Digital forensics reportedly decrypted a 42-second audio clip sent by Gettys via an encrypted messaging app. In it, he allegedly referenced the children by name, saying, "I told you once, they're gone. It gets quiet. Too quiet." Investigators reportedly described the tone as calculated, almost smug. Following that decryption, RCMP reportedly obtained legal clearance to access cloud backups, recovering deleted messages and GPS data that further contradict Gettys' public statements. Internal RCMP memos, according to sources, describe suspected misdirection, obsessive control of public narrative, and possible psychological instability linked to social media use. Investigators say Gettys may have intentionally inserted himself into the public spotlight to act as a distraction, making himself the loudest voice while concealing other activity. If these reported actions are verified, the RCMP's recent warrant and movement suggest that arrest preparations are underway. Unmarked vehicles have been spotted near Gettys' residence, and forensic teams have reportedly entered the premises. Sources claim the legal steps being taken indicate probable cause, enough for investigators to take decisive action. While arrest is not a conclusion of guilt, It allows investigators to prevent interference with evidence, question the suspect, and secure devices or data critical to the case. Alleged evidence includes GPS and cell data, cloud backups, deleted messages, witness statements, and encrypted audio files, all pieces that investigators reportedly consider together to form a pattern of potential misconduct. The RCMP reportedly emphasizes caution. Social media speculation can obscure facts, and premature conclusions could jeopardize the investigation. Verified evidence is required before charges can be laid. Investigators must corroborate all digital and physical traces, ensuring the evidence can withstand legal scrutiny. Sources suggest the next steps will include court filings, formal charges, and a public announcement once legal authorities approve disclosure. Until then, the investigation continues behind closed doors, focused on both locating the children and following the leads pointing toward Gettys. This case highlights the power and danger of social media. Anyone can become a public figure overnight, and loud voices can create distractions, whether intentional or not. Allegations suggest Gettys may have used his online presence to influence perception while investigators tracked discrepancies in statements, movement, and communications. Investigators reportedly remain methodical. They are cross-checking timelines, verifying digital records, and consulting witnesses. The combination of GPS locations, encrypted messages, cloud data, and eyewitness statements, if verified, creates a compelling case to justify search warrants and possible arrest. Witness credibility is important, but so is corroboration. One neighbor's observations are supported by digital evidence, multiple sources indicate, forming a pattern rather than relying on a single report. Investigators reportedly aim to piece together a timeline and validate each step with admissible evidence. Digital forensics has reportedly been critical. Deleted files, encrypted messages, and metadata can reveal inconsistencies, timelines, and proximity to critical locations. Investigators are said to have recovered such evidence, using it to strengthen probable cause for legal action. The RCMP reportedly also reviewed internal memos and patterns of online behavior. Allegedly, repeated attempts to steer public attention, combined with proximity to the children's last known location and unusual communications, triggered the decision to execute the warrant. If these reports hold, sources claim an arrest may happen imminently. Legal procedures will follow, including possible questioning, seizure of evidence, and formal charges if warranted. Investigators continue to prioritize locating the children while ensuring proper legal process. It's important to remember, an arrest does not equal conviction. Every action taken by law enforcement must withstand legal scrutiny. Evidence must be authenticated, witness statements verified, digital traces analyzed. The RCMP reportedly follows these steps carefully to ensure justice can be pursued correctly. For now, the public is urged to remain vigilant, provide verified tips to authorities, and avoid spreading speculation. Social media can amplify unverified claims, making it harder for investigators to focus on genuine leads. Verified evidence matters more than rumors. The pieces reported so far, GPS logs, deleted files, encrypted messages, cell records, and witness statements, if authentic, create a strong foundation for legal action. Allegations suggest the RCMP is moving quickly to secure evidence, prevent tampering, and follow the leads pointing to Gettys. Sources say this is a turning point in the investigation. If the evidence is verified, an arrest could be imminent. Investigators are reportedly coordinating across jurisdictions, reviewing all digital and physical data, and preparing legal filings that could lead to charges. The urgency is clear, each hour counts, both for gathering evidence and for locating the missing children. Sources say the RCMP is acting decisively, relying on forensic analysis, witness accounts, and legal tools to ensure the investigation is thorough and credible. Social media followers and the public can watch as events unfold, but only verified information from law enforcement should be considered factual. Sources emphasize the need for patience, careful reporting, and proper legal procedure. This case demonstrates the interplay between online presence, public attention, and investigative work. Allegations indicate the suspect may have leveraged his social media persona while investigators piece together evidence from multiple channels. Digital evidence, from GPS data to encrypted messages, is reportedly central to establishing timelines and patterns. Cloud backups, deleted files, and call logs are all part of the alleged evidence investigators are analyzing. Witness statements, including that of a neighbor, reportedly complement digital evidence by placing the suspect in relevant locations at critical times. Investigators reportedly combine these sources to form a pattern rather than relying on any single report. Legal procedures reportedly continue behind the scenes. Warrants have been executed, forensic teams deployed, and investigators cross-checking every detail. The potential arrest is said to be a procedural step to secure evidence and further the investigation. While the RCMP remains cautious, sources indicate the case is advancing. An arrest, if it happens, could bring clarity to investigators, provide access to additional evidence, and move the investigation closer to answering the questions everyone is asking: what happened, and where are the children? At this stage, the most important action for the public is to submit verified tips, avoid speculation, and allow investigators to follow legal procedures. Sources report that even minor verified leads can significantly impact the progress of the investigation. In summary, sources say that the RCMP's recent actions, combined with multiple threads of digital and witness evidence, suggest that an arrest could be imminent. Legal procedures are being followed. Investigators are analyzing GPS, cell data, cloud backups, encrypted messages, and witness statements. Each piece contributes to a larger picture of alleged activity surrounding Darren Gettys. This is a critical moment. Every step must be verified, documented, and analyzed. The RCMP's methodical approach, as reported, is designed to protect the investigation, secure evidence, and ensure that legal standards are met. As events continue to unfold, verified information from law enforcement will be essential. Social media speculation should be treated cautiously. Sources emphasize that only official confirmation can provide clarity on arrests, evidence, and the next steps. The situation remains urgent, with investigators acting to preserve evidence, verify allegations, and, if warranted, execute an arrest. Sources say the process is ongoing, and legal filings, forensic reviews, and investigative coordination continue behind the scenes. Ultimately, the RCMP reportedly is following a strategy focused on both locating the children and pursuing the suspect legally. Alleged evidence suggests GPS logs, digital files, call records, and witness reports may all play a role in this process. The public can expect official updates once legal procedures are complete. Until then, sources urge patience, caution, and focus on verified facts. The investigation is ongoing, and law enforcement remains committed to following the evidence wherever it leads. This concludes the report of the alleged developments surrounding the RCMP's investigation, the evidence reported by sources, and the potential imminent arrest. Every step is procedural and based on investigative leads. No conclusions about guilt or innocence have been established.